So when the president looks at what's happening at the border, he sees a border that is effectively closed.
What I'm saying is that the president, without the help of Republicans, is doing everything that he can to deal with the border. They're trying to politicize it and make it worse. That's what Republicans are trying to do, and turn it into a political stunt. The president is actually dealing with the issue that's in front of him.
That was White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday, claiming that Republicans are turning the border crisis into a political stunt, claiming that the president is doing something about the wide open border. Customs and Border Protection sources telling Fox News that there were more than 260,000 migrant encounters in the month of September. That is a record number, the highest monthly total we have ever seen, ever recorded. And of course, this is only the numbers that we know of. These are the people who were apprehended. It does not include those people who got away. Joining me right now is Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. He just introduced a resolution declaring an invasion at the southern border. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
You bet, Maria. It's good to see you. And I want to invite the White House press secretary to the border. You can interview her. I'll interview her. Let's show her what the border literally looks like. It's a sad day in America when the Chinese Communist Party is more concerned about the southern border, paying more attention to it than the president is. It's even a Saturday when the people of Kansas are more worried about this open southern border than the White House is.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, actually. And the fact that she comes out and just basically, you know, communicates, lies to our faces, frankly, to say that this border is closed. I don't know what you all can do about it, but at this point, we're talking about a spending fight. The House Republicans did have plans to have a policy change, but it failed.
Yeah, we had a magic moment, right? We could have got Kevin McCarthy presented legislation that would have decreased spending by 8%, plus made improvements in our southern border. But that would be my number one priority as we go through this next 45 days, is trying to figure out a way we can leverage this moment into some type of increased security for our southern border. It's real simple. Let's just talk about the Chinese Nationalist Party again. 18,000 Chinese crossed the border in this past year, 6,000 alone in June. It's a very contrite effort to infiltrate our system, to infiltrate our society. They're posing as teachers, as investigators. They're setting up shop right next to our military institutes. This is truly a code blue emergency at our border. Our border is hemorrhaging right now, and our president is ignoring it.
I could not agree more, Senator. That is exactly the way I see it, and that is why we have kept a spotlight on those Chinese nationals coming in through the open border. They don't have to go through the Darien Gap. They come all the way out of the way to exploit the open border. Now House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is investigating the Chinese nationals breaching and accessing secure U.S. military bases. Comer is requesting a briefing from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and FBI Director Christopher Wray on how the Biden administration is combating this threat. What are they doing? I know you recently sent a letter to the Department of Homeland Security, Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, about the record number of Chinese nationals flooding the border and the threat that it represents. Have you heard back from him?
Of course not. They're going to continue to ignore that this problem exists. Again, 18,000 Chinese nationals. These are military-aged men that are spies. That's exactly what they are. They are spies. They're coming in and setting up Confucius classes in public schools next to our military bases. They're doing cultural exchanges. They're now working in our universities and in our highest tech companies as well. They're stealing property. What Americans need to understand is if you're from China, you are married at the hip to the Chinese Communist Party. These people are spies, and then basically they're being caught and released. Don't forget there's probably another 6,000 gotaways. These people are setting up for an opportunity of espionage. I remain more concerned about cybersecurity issues, bioterrorism challenges from China than I am how many ships China has in the southern seas.
Well, it's amazing. We're looking at these pictures, Senator. They're all military-aged men coming from China. I mean, this could not be more obvious. And this president is sitting around not doing anything about it. I mean, what does Beijing have on him that he continues to respond with nothing? And then I heard you at the AG hearing, the ag hearing, agricultural, on foreign ownership in U.S. agriculture. I want you to explain this because you're talking about Chinese American intellectual property being stolen by communist China, and they're also stealing what? DNA sequencing?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have to tell your listeners that food security is national security. Often we're taken for granted. But one of the Chinese angles on this is to collect the DNA of every plant, animal, and human being in the entire world. Then they can use that DNA against us. There's certainly great things they can do with it, but certainly also significant harm to humans. But more importantly, perhaps, is our food sources as well. They could develop a virus that would take out the wheat crop in Kansas, and maybe they would develop a virus that our chickens would be attacked by, but theirs would be immune to because they could adjust their DNA as well. Again, I'm much more concerned about their theft of our intellectual property, cyber attacks, bioterrorism than I am how big their army is. On the USDA side of this, the food side of this, yes, they are buying critical land, farmland in Kansas, across the country. I encourage states to institute their own laws. Don't wait on the United States to do this, if you know my concern there. So there are ways to push back on this, and they're also going in and buying the meat packing plants. They're getting into the entire food chain of the United States. Food security is national security.
Unbelievable. We're going to talk with former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in a little while. I'm going to ask him about this issue as well, because he told me long ago that communist China is now inside the gates of America. They're coming at us at all ends, Senator. I mean, whether it be the nationals, Chinese nationals coming in through the border, or the fentanyl flowing from China and killing American citizens, to the surveillance programs. Gordon Chang believes that China wants to eventually go to war with America. Is that the way you see it?
Well, we are basically in a Cold War with China right now, that they're infiltrating our schools, they're infiltrating all across the United States. They already released a virus that killed 1 million Americans. What type of signal are we waiting for? They're very clearly,
right.
They even say that this is their goal as well. We need to wake up. We need to take care of our own schools. We need to protect our own intellectual property. We need to stop all their counterfeits from coming across here. They're killing 300 Americans a day with their fentanyl poisoning. How does Joe Biden sleep at night? I don't know.
I don't know either. And let me tell you, this is one of the main issues that we're talking about every single day. The world has become so much more dangerous, and yet we've got a fight underway in the Congress about who's going to run the House. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz introduced a motion to remove House Speaker Kevin McCarthy yesterday. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett joined me earlier in this program, telling me how he plans to vote. Watch this.
We've just gone through almost a shutdown because we took the whole month of August off. Yesterday we came in, we said we weren't going to do any more of these continued resolutions yet. We did. 45 days, backing us right up to Thanksgiving, and we'll be right back there, and I'll guarantee you we'll pass an omnibus. I'm poised to vote to remove him from speakership. I just think we're going to have, like I said, he's my friend. It's a tough decision. I prayed about it. And I have to go either with my conscience or go with my friend, the speaker, and my conscience has served me well these last 59 years.
Senator, how do you think this plays out? What's your assessment here?
Well, look, I'm going to bet on Kevin McCarthy, but I would just ask my friends to take 2 steps back. I wish they would see the same vigor attacking Joe Biden's policy, the same vigor that's allowed Joe Biden to give us open borders. He's ruined our economy. He's put us beholding the Chinese Communist Party. Let's unite for once. Let's fight back, and let's push against Joe Biden. Stop destroying our own party. You're destroying our nation. Take 3 steps back. Just look and think about the next generation, not your next press hit, not your next election. Let's focus on the next generation. Let's make America safe again. Let's get our financial house in order. We've got 45 days to do it, and the Senate's out of session basically less 1 day for this next 2 weeks. So while the Democrats are out partying and they're out, campaigning, we should be right here in the Senate working on these financial packages one at a time, all 12 of them. I'm very concerned. This is the greatest long-term threat to our nation is our national debt.
And one of the issues dividing the country is the money going to Ukraine. I mean, people are saying, why aren't we seeing more focus on the U.S. border and less on the Ukraine border? Now there's this confusion surrounding the Ukraine funding. President Biden claims that he and Speaker McCarthy reached a side deal on new money to go to Ukraine. McCarthy says there's no side deal. Politico obtained a U.S. strategy document which shows Biden officials are far more concerned with corruption in Ukraine than they publicly admit, Senator. So they're also worried about corruption here, and yet we're still throwing money at it?
That's exactly right. Once again, this shows out of touch the White House is. We talked to tens of thousands of Kansans on telephone town halls the past several weeks. 75–80% of Kansas don't want one more cent going to Ukraine until we secure our own border. Look, if the White House wants to do something, they've only implemented about half of their banking sanctions. We asked for an inspector general. We didn't get an inspector general. Poland is bailing on them as well. Look, let's get our own house in order. Let's stop borrowing money from China and sending it to Ukraine. Let's focus on the things that we can control. Let's get our national debt under control. Let's secure our southern border. Let's lock in on those two issues. Let's join together as Republicans and push back on Joe Biden once and for all.
All right, we will leave it there. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. We'll be watching all of that. Senator Roger Marshall.